Hey everyone, and welcome! Today, we're going to jump right into the world of logo design, and we're going to do it with one of the most powerful tools around, Photoshop. We're going to completely break down the process and show you how to get from a blank canvas to a logo that looks totally professional. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Logo design in Photoshop? Isn't that, super complicated for a beginner? It's a really common feeling, this idea that it's this exclusive club for seasoned pros only.
Well, guess what? We're here to bust that myth wide open. We're going to walk through everything step by step, and I'm telling you, by the end of this, you're going to have the confidence and the skills to get started on your own. All right, let's do this.
Okay, first things first. Before we even dream of opening Photoshop, we gotta talk strategy. We need to understand what actually makes a logo great. Because honestly, the tools don't mean a thing if you don't get the why behind it all.
Every single great logo you can think of is built on these 4 pillars. Think of them as your creative compass. Every decision you make, every shape, every color, should be measured against these ideas. Simplicity, relevance, originality, and timelessness. And look, if I had to pick just one pillar that holds up the whole roof, it would be simplicity. A simple logo is just easier for our brains to remember. It works on a massive billboard, and it works as a teeny tiny icon on a browser tab. That versatility is pure power, and it's absolutely our main goal.
All right, with those principles locked in, it's time to get our hands dirty. So let's fire up Photoshop and actually start building this thing. Getting your documents set up correctly right from the start, well, that's the first real step toward a professional result. So when you go to File, New, a few settings are absolutely crucial. We're going to start with a big canvas, 2000 by 2000 pixels, just to give us plenty of room. For color mode, choose RGB. That's the standard for anything you'll see on a screen. And definitely pick a transparent background. But the most important setting on the screen, it's the resolution. And that magic number is 300 ppi, or pixels per inch. That is the gold standard for high-quality printing. If you start with 300 ppi, your logo will look just as crisp on a business card as it does on a website. Seriously, this is a non-negotiable for professional work.
Okay, our canvas is prepped, we know our design principles, now the fun really begins. Let's start building the visual identity for our brand, piece by piece.
Here's a workflow that, trust me, just works. I always start with a super rough sketch on its own layer. Then, I use the basic shape tools to build a main structure. For anything custom, the pen tool is your absolute best friend. And hey, don't let it intimidate you. The key is just making smooth curves with as few points as possible. From there, you can merge and subtract shapes to create something totally new. Now this slide right here highlights the most critical technical decision you will make in Photoshop. Always, and I mean always, build your logo using shape layers. Why? Because they create vectors. Unlike a normal pixel-based image that gets all blurry and gross when you make it bigger, vectors are based on math. You can scale them up to the size of a building and they will stay perfectly sharp. This is essential for a logo.
So, we've got our shape built. Now it's time to breathe some life and personality into it. And that is where color comes in. Color is not just decoration, you guys. It's a huge psychological shortcut. It communicates a feeling and a vibe for a brand before anyone reads a single word.
And you don't need to be some master artist to pick great colors. Just a little color theory goes a long, long way. Analogous colors, they're neighbors on the color wheel, so they feel calm and harmonious. Complementary colors are opposites, which creates this awesome high-energy contrast. And a triadic scheme gives you a really vibrant but still balanced feel.
And just like color sets the mood, typography gives your brand its voice. Think about it. Is your brand's voice modern and clean? Is it elegant and classic? Or maybe it's loud and playful? The font you choose is every bit as important as the logo mark itself. It has to feel like it belongs.
Okay, our main ingredients are in place. We have our shape, our color, and our type. Now we get to the polishing phase. This is that final 10% of the work that takes a good design and really elevates it into a great one. This is where the magic happens.
So here's a little checklist to run through. Any effects, like a drop shadow, should be super subtle. We're adding a little depth, not making it look cheesy. Use layer masks so you can always go back and change things. Check your alignment obsessively. But most important, shrink it down. Way, way down. Can you still tell what it is? And does it work in plain black and white? These tests are absolutely vital.
We are on the home stretch. You've designed it, you've polished it, and now it's time for the final, crucial stage, getting your logo out of Photoshop and ready for the real world, while making sure we sidestep a few common rookie mistakes.
Okay, you might want to screenshot this one. This is your export cheat sheet. The main thing to get is that different uses need different files. Your PSD is your master file. Never, ever flatten it. A PNG is perfect for the web because it can have a transparent background. And an SVG is the modern, scalable vector format for websites. Know your formats and you'll always have the right file for the job.
Now, before we wrap this up, we have to talk about two very common mistakes that I see all the time. Seriously, these can completely sink an otherwise awesome design. Avoiding these is just as important as everything else we've talked about.
Mistake number 1. Making it too complicated. It's so tempting to just keep adding more stuff to make it feel designed. You gotta resist that urge. Remember what we said at the very beginning? Simplicity is king. A clean, simple logo will always be more memorable and more useful than a busy one. And the second big mistake is all about fonts. It's a two-parter. First, you've got to make sure the font's personality actually fits the brand. But second, and look, this is the part that can get you in real trouble, you have to make sure you have the license to use that font for a commercial project. Not all free fonts are actually free for business use, so always check.
And that really brings us full circle, doesn't it? It's not about crazy effects or chasing the latest trend. It's about taking the whole story of a brand and distilling it down into one simple, memorable mark that truly reflects what it's all about.
So there you have it. The principles, the setup, the creative process, the polishing. It's all in your hands now. The only question left is, what story are you going to tell? What amazing brand are you going to bring to life? Go create something awesome.